And this is rule 6 of our 10 rules for a brilliant book. And I'm Dale. And we're going to come back to identifying your ideal reader and think about how well you know the person that you want to read your book, or if you're doing a chapter in a collaborative book, how well you know the person who's going to read your chapter as well as the other author's work. Now, people buy books because of some sort of outcome, solution, or result it's going to give them. So if I buy a book and it's on, say, shamanism, and it's a particular aspect of it, that might be journeying, I want to learn how to do that. If I buy a book that is on stress and anxiety, I want to go on a journey that's going to help me to identify stuff that's going on and give me some good things that I can do. So let's come back and ask that question. Who do you want to read your book? So we've thought about previously, we thought about core message of the business, core message of the book. We've thought about vision. We thought about your why. Now, who do you want to read your book? So what I do with people is give them some questions so that they can go off and explore who their ideal reader might be. So it's a really good way of thinking about how to get emotionally connected to somebody else. So who do you want to read your book? Now, here's a really, really key thing. You are writing for one person. So if you've got loads and loads of different reader profiles all laid out, and it's like, yeah, I'm going to write for Susie and Fred and John and Mary and Pete, and you're not going to be honing in on that one person's heart that you want to connect with. So we're writing for one reader. So when you do that, when you're writing, it's like you are inside their head, inside their heart. And so when you're writing away, it's if you're writing that really personal letter to them. Now, when you get that right and you start writing for that person, it makes the whole process so much easier. So think of, I am writing this for one person. So when you've got that one person in your head, think about the top 10 questions that they might ask. Top 10 questions give you great content for chapter headings and for your marketing material. So what occupies their thoughts, feelings, not necessarily just in your niche or book idea, but in general, because you can start with the bigger picture and then bring it in. What do they read? What do they watch? What do they do as a hobby? If you could imagine them watching Netflix, what would they be watching? Mind you, if you thought about me, and if you knew what I watched, I love like crazy zombie things that are a little bit zany, but I also love romance. I love comedy and drama. I mean, I have such an eclectic mix of things. But if you thought about that person and all that mix of things, what does that tell you? So when I read something or I watch something on the TV, I love a good outcome. I like a happy ending. So it doesn't matter what I'm watching. I want to be taken through and emotionally connected with. I love a good story, no matter how mad it is around the outside. But I want a happy ending. I want to know that everyone kind of sails off into the sunset. So that tells you a little bit about me. So if you're writing a book for me, I like a happy ending, please. So what else are they interested in? Do they like to read, rollerblade, go skiing? What do they love? Are they gourmets? Do they like to go to cookery class? What? And where do they hang out online? Are they an Instagrammer, a LinkedIner? Do they love to make videos for YouTube? Where do they hang out? What kind of groups? What kind of people do they connect with? What kind of stuff do they write? What kind of websites do they go to where they're seeking advice and questions? Whose blogs do they read and rave about? So just think about some of those things. I mean, you can't know all the answers. I mean, you just can't. But it's thinking about getting as close to that as possible. Or you could, if you're thinking of writing a book and you can identify, a couple of people that it suits, reach out. Ask them the questions, just get them to talk about themselves. Now, here's something really important. It is about what bothers your reader, not what you think bothers them or what bothers you. You've been through this journey. So you've done that stuff, and you might not have healed it all, but you've done the stuff enough to be able to go out there and inspire and impact people. So what bothers them? What keeps them awake at night? Put yourself in their shoes. Walk a mile in their shoes. You know, when you're out and you think about those questions, those things that come up, think about them. You know, you've got the knowledge and experience now, but take yourself back in time when you didn't. What did it feel like? What kind of things did you say or do? Now think about the results. What results does your book deliver for your reader? And what is the outcome that you want? Now, you might say, I want them to read this book, and at the end of the book, I want them to understand how to love themselves, how to reclaim their self-worth, and be more confident. That might not happen, but you have to still have an outcome. You still have to say that when I take them through this journey, my ultimate goal is they feel so much more confident about who they are, that they're able to go out in the world and do whatever it is that they want to do. So, you know, it's really important that we think about those results and that outcome, but also then step away from it knowing that they might get a different kind of outcome. So I always do it with a little matchstick person, and I just make a list of attributes, you know, what I think makes an ideal reader. I might have a particular gender, I might have a location in the world for them, an age, an income, that there might be certain behaviours. You're the expert in your stuff, but if you've got it written down, it helps you to focus and write for that one reader. So, a couple of questions. What will your ideal reader get as a result of reading your book? How will your ideal reader feel when they read your words? What will they do as a result of reading your book? And what emotional connection do you want to make with your reader? And what is your most important message for them? So that's all about our ideal reader. So I'm Dale, I'm from daledarley.com, and if you look under books, you will find all kinds of stuff that will help you to create a book or a chapter of a book for the Healing Book Project.